Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Across the Divide by Stacey Marie Brown. Narrated by Amy Landon and Zach Villa. Chapter 1. Welcome home, Zoey. The words bounced around in my head, trying to stick to anything that resembled logic. How did I get back here? The truth didn't make sense. This can't be happening. I squeezed my lids closed, my heart slammed in my chest. Jump, Zoey. I knew it was impossible to jump from here. Rapava designed the Department of Molecular Genetics, a secret branch of the government, to make sure Fae would not be able to use their glamour or powers to escape. But the sinkhole in my gut still widened with fear and disappointment. Beep, beep. My heart monitor continued to chirp in my ears.
It's good to have you back with us.
Rapava's voice sounded automated. They were simply words he said without emotion behind them.
Where you belong.
Belong? I belonged with Ryker and Sprigg. I gnashed my teeth together. Where were they? Were they all right?
We have reduced the dosage of propofol. You should begin to feel more alert. After 2 weeks of keeping you in a coma, it will take a little time for your body to adjust.
2 weeks? Coma? Beep, beep, beep.
Zoey.
The doctor said my name like an order. I pried my lashes open. Standing before me, peering down, was a tall, lean man in his late 50s with silvering hair and sharp, hazel eyes. Dr. Boris Rapava, the man I had once considered a mentor, a brilliant scientist and doctor. I had respected him. Now he represented only lies and betrayal. He tilted his head.
Did you understand what I said to you? Do you know where you are?
My eyes darted to him, then back around the room. Of course I know where I am. This place used to be like a second home, where I found sanctuary, love, friendship. That was all gone, and most of it had been untrue.
Nod your head if you understand.
His gaze fixed on my heart monitor and IV drip. Ignoring him, I took in the familiar walls of the DMG, coated in the monotonous white walls and plywood cupboards. A cornucopia of medical equipment lined the black counters and shelves. I had spent many years in these rooms, but now I occupied the single hospital bed in the room. A table stood across the room covered with syringes, tubes, and vials of liquid. My gaze drifted down my body. I was dressed in a hospital gown, and my only accessories were leather and metal cuffs on my ankles and wrists binding me to the bed. Did I understand? Yes, I understood the one place I used to call my safe haven was now my prison cell. Beep, 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 beep. The monitor screamed out my emotions, displaying them for everyone to see and hear. Turn it off, I grunted. My throat felt so raw I flinched in pain. Rapava reached over and shut off the screen, silencing the room.
I know you probably have a lot of questions.
I did, but all that came out was the blaring truth of my return, the only reason I could be in this bed now. You work for Vadik, I said softly, the words breaking over my sore throat. Vadik was wealthy, extremely dangerous and powerful. A demon. He had hired Ryker to steal the Stone of Destiny, the most powerful chunk of rock in the other world. Ryker told me in Fae mythology there are 4 magical artifacts, a sword, spear, cauldron, and the stone. Lia Fall, Stone of Destiny. These items are so powerful they can destroy the world if put in the wrong hands. Ryker reneged on the deal with Vadik. Now Vadik would do anything and everything in his ability to get it back, including selling me to the highest bidder. Rapava shifted back, his lids narrowing.
I do not work for him, or any other Fae.
Really? I choked. Then how did I get here? Rapava pressed his lips together so firmly they turned white.
We are in a war, Zoey. Human lives and our freedom are on the line. Sometimes you have to do bad things to get what you want. I see the bigger picture. Vadik had something I wanted."
He turned away from me and grabbed a cup of water from the table next to my bed.
"Here."
He placed the plastic to my lips. I wanted to refuse, to spit in his face, but the cool liquid lapping against my mouth was too tempting, alluring me to give myself over. I could not deny the draw. He tipped the cup, and the water trickled down and dampened the parched sections of my throat.
"I am sorry we had to constrain you, but it was for your own protection."
He set the glass back on the table. "Or for yours." Rapava's head jerked back to me. "Take them off." I held up my arms as far as they would go.
"I'm not sure that is wise. You've been through an ordeal. You are not quite yourself right now, are you?"
He let the question taper off, implying he knew the answer to his own question.
"You're an incredible specimen, Zoey. We have learned much from testing you."
He folded his arms in front of his doctor's coat, gazing at me with wonder.
"Even your vitals are unprecedented. Every test indicates you are a healthy young lady. I don't know how or why, but you are completely clear of the defect in your DNA."
My lashes dipped briefly as I swallowed. Ryker's powers had cured me, just as I suspected. Deep down I felt I was all right, but couldn't be sure. The confirmation did not come with glee. If I lived, Ryker died. "Is that why you put me in a coma for 2 weeks? To be your lab rat?" My fingers gripped the leather cuffs on either side of the bed. Trapped. My chest flinched, the sensation creeping into my lungs, closing them down. Drawing on my childhood memories of being locked in the closet, sweat dampened the back of my neck. Vulnerable and defenseless didn't sit well with me.
"Zoey."
I took a deep breath, wiggling my arms. "Please, they're hurting me."
"There's nowhere you can go. Every way out has been sealed. Thanks to you, we learned our lesson. We saw the weaknesses of this space. A lot has changed."
Dr. Rapava watched me, his critical eyes analyzing me.
"I'm sure there is no reason to tell you these things. You are home,"
he emphasized.
"It took a lot for us to get you here. Much sacrifice to get you back to us. I hope you can appreciate what I've done to bring you home safely."
I couldn't get my mouth to respond, but my gaze never left his, holding up my shackled wrists. Finally, he nodded, turned and walked to the intercom system on the wall.
"Can you come down? Yes, now."
Rapava hung up the phone and proceeded toward me. He withdrew a pair of keys from his pocket.
"Do not cause me to regret this,"
he commented as he unlatched my cuffs. I yanked my wrists free and sat up, rubbing my arms.
"The 2 weeks you were in a coma were instrumental to us here. I hope you can see the good you are doing. But much remains a mystery. I want you to assist with this. Help me understand how the magic transferred to you, how it changed you."
His eyes glinted with excitement.
"When I find the coding, and I will, there will be nothing I can't construct. You and I are going to create great things together, Zoey."
"You mean your own Frankenstein army?" Words shot from my mouth before I could think. "I know all about your experiments, manufacturing humans like me." My lids narrowed on him.
"I understand you are probably upset."
"Probably?" I spat. Rapava pressed his lips together.
"I kept the truth about your birth from you and how you were created for your own good. Your growth outside these walls, unaware of the Fae world, was extremely important."
His lack of understanding of the horrors he put me through in the name of science made me sick. Acid burned my esophagus, settling on my tongue with bitterness.
"You and Sarah were my greatest achievements. With faults, yes, but still miraculous. You two developed seer powers greater than any before you, and both outlived the others by years. But everything has changed, and I see how short-sighted I was. Look at what a unique specimen you are. Think about what I can create with your genetic material. For the first time, we really have a chance against the Fae, to fight and take back our world. We no longer have to be helpless against them."
He placed his hand on my arm, excitement emanating from him.
"Don't you see, Zoey? You are the key to saving the human race. You and I are going to change everything. We will be the most important race. They will fear us."
My teeth gritted at the absence of emotion in his voice. There was much I wanted to ask, so much I needed to understand. But anger, stubbornness, and fear kept my lips pinned tight. Disgust and rage crawled over my skin at the betrayal I felt, the realization of the lie I had been living, and what he allowed to happen to me. I blinked and looked away from him. The impulse to flee wrenched through me. The need to jump to escape overwhelmed me, but nothing happened. How was he able to keep Fae from using their gifts? I never needed to wonder before. Now it was something I had to learn. "You're able to keep Fae locked in here. You have power over them." Stroking egos always helped in retrieving information. "How do you do it?"
"Curious?"
An amused smile tipped up his mouth, understanding my hidden meaning.
"I've been especially aware of goblin metal and iron's effects on Fae since the beginning. Learning the weaknesses of your enemy is the only way you can defeat them. To humans it is completely undetected, but every inch of this place is covered with pure iron and goblin metal paints. All exits at the ground level are now sealed with it."
He gave me a pointed look, and I knew I wouldn't be able to use the same escape route as last time.
"We also give our patients daily injections with a formula I created to keep the subjects in line."
Goblin metal was extremely rare, and even more expensive. That Rapava painted the walls with it, used it in all the medication, and commissioned handcuffs made with it told me there wasn't anything he wouldn't pay or do to fulfill his ambitions. Anxiety was hopping in my veins like a bad drug. I had to escape and find Ryker and Sprig. Did Vadik have them? Kill them? Air choked in my airways, and my lungs fluttered to keep up. I couldn't think of the bad, I just had to find them. The door opened, pulling my attention to the figure walking in. A tall, broad-shouldered African-American man sauntered in, his ripped chest displayed through his 2 sizes too small t-shirt. A smug, cruel smile tugged at the corners of his mouth. His large, dark eyes, framed by even darker, long eyelashes, centered on me. He was the kind of good-looking which caused you to do a double-take, hair cut to scalp, huge, dazzling smile, and high cheekbones. But his ego, cruelty, and arrogance saturated his aura like rank cologne, turning him foul in my eyes. Liam. His gaze found mine, a superior smile on his lips. It was his usual expression, but now it brought Daniel back to my mind in a web of memories strung with Liam's smirk and his condescending taunts. He always had to one-up Daniel, trying to prove he was the better hunter. Liam, along with Sarah, had strived to make my life miserable at DMG since the day I was recruited. A mix of disgust and loathing pinwheeled in my chest, putting me on guard. I slipped to the edge of the bed, needing to feel the ground under my feet. The door slowly fell back into its hold, about to close me in with the 2 men. Air siphoned out of my lungs, anxiety clutching them. The walls felt like they were crushing in on me. Hatred seethed out my bones like heat the closer my ex-collector comrade and nemesis came. My gaze went between Liam and Rapava. "Get out now, Zoey! Run!" Instinct screamed at me, compelling me to act. My feet hit the ground, slapping against the cool tile as I bolted for the door. Air drifted up my exposed backside, the gown fluttering with movement. With every step, the muscles in my legs cramped and threatened to give way from weeks of inactivity. "No!" I gritted my teeth and slammed my shoulder into Liam, knocking him to the side. My sudden action was the only thing letting me slide past him. He quickly righted himself, reaching for my hair. I twisted and grabbed the doorknob, yanking the door back hard. Thwack! The door struck Liam between his eyes. A roar of pain emanated from his mouth.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?